Meimei's screen presence has long captivated audiences, yet a recurring question lingers: when does familiarity become fatigue? Though her youthful visage suggests versatility, her repeated collaborations with Yulong risk turning novelty into routine. The duo's chemistry is undeniable. They are, after all, a real-life couple, but the relentless cycle of pairing them in short dramas is beginning to feel predictable. Audiences are not naive. They notice when storytelling leans on formulaic patterns rather than fresh expression. From Neighbor's Secret to The Door Next Door, the same gestures, the same filtered close-ups, and the same rehearsed expressions replay across narratives. What once thrilled now flirts dangerously with overexposure. Is this consistency a mark of acting mastery, or has it evolved into comfortable, almost mechanical repetition? The paradox is striking. Meimei and Yulong can ignite screens with electric tension, yet risk dulling the spark by never truly letting their work breathe. Each episode seems familiar before it even begins, leaving viewers caught between admiration for skill and yearning for originality. The question isn't about talent, it's about creative courage, about daring to break the cycle and explore roles outside the safe confines of an established formula. What emerges for the audience is both a lesson and a longing. Exceptional actors shine brightest when challenged, when their craft evolves alongside the stories they inhabit. Overfamiliarity may please for a moment, but innovation sustains fascination. For Meimei, stepping beyond the comfort zone of repeated collaborations could transform transient admiration into lasting impact. A reminder that in short the drama, as in life, growth comes not from repetition, but from the courage to surprise. The couple's early collaborations were nothing short of mesmerizing. Subtle glances, instinctive timing, even a simple turn could carry a scene's entire narrative. Yet by their 13th short drama together, audiences could predict every move before it unfolded. Kitchen quarrels, reconciliations in bed, tears followed by convenient plot twists. The patterns are painfully familiar. Formulaic storytelling, it seems, is the nemesis of short dramas. And what's more disheartening is that these are actors with genuine skill, yet they remain confined within the comfort of repetition. Love family dramas? That's fine, but must every domestic story follow the same blueprint? Not every marriage has to start with conflict, nor should each narrative end with a slammed refrigerator door. Not every heroine needs to be portrayed as strong and independent, only to ultimately lean on a man. In an era where even AI handles parenting tasks, these dramas are stuck in outdated tropes, meddling mothers-in-law, predictable reconciliations, and recycled power dynamics. For viewers, the frustration is palpable, but it carries a lesson. Talent without risk stagnates. Audiences crave evolution, nuance, and fresh perspectives, characters and relationships that reflect complexity rather than cliché. The real magic occurs when skilled actors step beyond familiar patterns, challenging themselves in the genre. For Meimei and Yulong, breaking the cycle isn't about abandoning what works, it's about daring to expand their artistic range. Only then can their craft truly resonate, transforming admiration into enduring impact. In short, the drama, as in life, the courage to reinvent is what keeps hearts and eyes glued. Long after the final scene fades, audiences hold no grudge against Meimei. Her delicate features, photogenic charm, and natural screen presence are undeniable. The problem isn't her talent, it's the repetition. Viewers aren't here to watch cuteness recycled. Yulong, too, is a capable actor. His delivery is steady, his performance is competent. Yet something lingers in his gaze, a quiet fatigue that crosses the screen. It's not exhaustion from work, but from predictability. Each time he utters husband, it carries a weight beyond the scene, as if the lines themselves are bound by contract. Drained of spontaneity, the issue lies not in their ability, but in the creative choices surrounding them. Short dramas thrive on brevity and intensity, yet even frequent releases cannot disguise a formula left unchallenged. Without variation, without risk, the work risks becoming a hollow vessel, attention grabbing only in frequency, never in substance. True respect, then, is reserved for creators willing to step beyond their comfort zones. Those who dare to break patterns, reinvent characters, or explore unfamiliar narratives, infuse even familiar faces with vitality. That courage, not sheer output, is what captivates audiences and leaves a lasting impression. For Meimei and Yulong, the lesson is clear: skill alone does not sustain interest, innovation does. When actors and creators challenge themselves, viewers are rewarded with resonance, surprise, and emotional depth. Short dramas can enchant not through repetition, but through daring transformation, reminding audiences that artistry is most powerful when it refuses to be predictable. The harsh reality of today's short drama audience is inescapable. Viewers have evolved. Once content with small-town domestic plots, they are now urban commuters, binging 3 episodes on a subway ride. If a story still hinges on who gets home first to cook dinner, audiences swipe away, and swiping away means the end. Look at the fresh pairings breaking through: a delivery worker and a psychologist, a retired soldier and an art studio owner, even a locksmith and a traditional culture streamer. Their performances may be raw, yet they carry an earnestness that promises something new. In contrast, the veteran duo seems to rely on past trust, sprinkling familiar flavors instead of crafting meaningful meals. The quietest critique is in the metrics themselves. Viewers skip the actors, glued only to the comments section. No one doubts their fame, they have already captured the spotlight. But the question now isn't about popularity, it's about growth. Can they explore new dynamics, take risks, or deliver narratives that feel alive rather than rehearsed? Audiences reward innovation, not repetition. They crave characters and scenarios that surprise and resonate, even if the execution is imperfect. For Meimei and Yulong, the lesson is clear: talent guarantees attention, but creativity sustains it. The short drama landscape is unforgiving, favoring those willing to step out of comfort zones and meet modern viewers where they are fast-paced, curious, and hungry for originality. In a market that moves at commuter speed, staying in place isn't an option. Reinvention isn't just admirable, it's essential. Yes, they are a real-life couple, but creation is not marriage, and audiences are not relatives. Actors live through their characters, not through recycled partnerships. Talent thrives when it is challenged, not when it leans on familiarity. Looking back, their best work likely comes from a time when they were still exploring each other on screen, a period of experimentation, vulnerability, and unpolished plots. Then, they weren't afraid of failure, or of the possibility of drifting apart. That tentative energy, that willingness to risk, is what made those performances resonate. Audiences aren't trying to tear them apart. On the contrary, viewers want to see them unshackled, allowed to fully express the range of their abilities. Everyone can tell that both are capable of far more than what has been showcased in repetitive storylines. They have the potential to surprise, to evolve, to bring fresh vitality to short dramas. If the duo chooses not to, then they can hardly complain about a critical audience. Today's viewers are sharper, more discerning, and more complex than the lives depicted in these domestic narratives. They crave nuance, unpredictability, and authenticity. For Meimei and Yulong, the challenge is clear: honor your craft by daring to step beyond comfort zones. Your real-life bond is undeniable, but your artistic legacy depends on more than chemistry. It depends on courage, experimentation, and a refusal to let predictability define your work. The audience is ready. Are you?